Moving into this penthouse might have been the biggest mistake of my life, and I'm about to show you exactly why getting everything that you've ever dreamed of can actually destroy you if you're not mentally prepared for it. I'm Andrew Chow. I run a 7-figure fitness coaching business, and until recently, a 6-figure placement agency. And I'm about 5 weeks out from a national bodybuilding competition, trying to redeem myself after bombing my show 2 years ago. But let me catch you up on what's been happening. For the past 3 years, Hang and I have been grinding 14 to 16-hour days, living in one of Melbourne's most dangerous areas, even had our neighbor overdose in front of our house, random people screaming like they're possessed, and drug deals happening right in front of our door. And 2 weeks ago, we made a decision to move into our dream penthouse, the same place that I've been visualizing since I was 16. And it sounds like success, right? But here's what nobody tells you about leveling up. Sometimes getting what you want reveals how unprepared you are to receive it. And the mental battle that you go through that people don't talk about, that will either make or break everything that you've worked for. By the end of this video, you're gonna understand why most people sabotage their own success, the one mindset shift that separates those that settle from those that actually keeps expanding and growing, and why gratitude might be the most powerful business strategy that you're not using.
Then our souls are in here. That's exactly what we thought in Bali. And that's why we're gonna leave the area. But never forget where you came from. I'm very grateful.
You just saw that we've been living for the past 3 years. And here's the thing, we could have moved out of the area 2 years ago when the business started to do well, but we didn't. Why? Because I was operating from scarcity. Every dollar that we made, I was thinking like, what if this business fails? What if we lose everything? So we stayed in survival mode even when we didn't need to. Here's what I learned about potential versus settling. Most people will chase their dreams the moment life gets comfortable. They get a decent paycheck, buy a house, they start a family, and start living someone else's definition of success instead of their own, especially us as Asians who live the life that our parents wanted for us, the life that they never had. The moment that you stop growing and you settle for someone else's dream, and settling is the death of the potential.
You spend your whole life dreaming about things, driving a supercar, being in a penthouse, and they're all just going to be dreams for so many people for so long because they're just learning how to just be a human being, grow up. 10 to 20, you go to school, 20 to 30, just stay out of jail, and then 30 is when your life really begins. That's when all your life experience now amounts to something that you create. Most people don't continue to push beyond that. That's when they start to settle. That's when they buy a house and they have kids. They stop dreaming. So they never really get to taste what life is like beyond 30 when they amass all the tools and the experience that they've had to work towards something. And I feel like we're just entering my early 30s and we're now starting to just experience the things that were once dreams. And then one of the coaches from Will's program needed an appointment setter, and I'm like, I've got one in standby. Yeah. And so I realized that I've got a good system that I can actually help other people. I'm like, why don't I just productize this? Right. And then that way I can build my internal teams as well, so they get to have more responsibility. Just doing things long enough to bake out a process so he does it, then he gets good enough to bake out that process even more beyond what I'm capable of, and then skill transferring that to someone else. And we're just gonna continue to do that, and then we extend out our business so there's still one main business with different facets. And within the first 30 days, we made 50K. Crazy, right? When I was in Bali, that was a crazy week. In that week was the highest cash collected, money in the account that I've ever had, which is 100,000. While I was in Bali, 0 discovery calls, and we're just cooking. We're just getting started. That's fucking wild.
You see, most entrepreneurs think that scaling means doing more, but the real growth happens when you create systems that other people can run better than you can. And that's when we hit 100K in a single week while I was in Bali, taking 0 discovery calls. But here's the breakthrough. Leadership isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about getting good enough at something so you can actually teach it to other people. And you can step back and watch them excel. That's true power. Building other people, elevating them, and bringing out the best in them. The appointment setter agency now trains and recruits other setters. It's actually closed down now. More on that in a future episode.
Hello?
What's the problem right now?
The van is not going to fit into the basement, so we're going to have to park outside and try to bring everything in. That means it's going to be a bit of a travel to get to the elevator up and down each time. Because when you look at that truck, that's a standard size truck.
Damn, he's crazy.
Last piece of the puzzle. Finally does this.
And just a quick pause, if you're getting value from this and you want to see more real behind the scenes content like this, I would really appreciate it if you hit the button and subscribe. I haven't posted in years, we're getting back into momentum, and so much has been happening over the last few weeks that I really want to catch you guys up on and share and document this process. You know, for us growing up as Asians in the west side of Melbourne, I want to see more guys like us succeed. I'm doing it for us, doing it for you, doing it for my future family. Join along on the journey, hit the subscribe button. Now, let me show you the mental battle that almost destroyed everything.
What a day.
bro. These bananas are nuts, bro.
How good is it?
No, it was crazy.
Give them a taste test. These are crazy. It tastes like ice cream. Finally done for the day. That was an absolute mission. There's still about maybe a truck's worth or van's worth of stuff at our place. But for the most part, we're enough to survive. Hang on, I got some food for tomorrow. Want to do some grocery shopping. But this place actually looks beautiful, and it's like an Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
It's like a holiday house. Like, I just came to this moment when I was just standing here and I was just looking at this. You know, we have 2 fireplaces. There's one right there, one around the corner, and you can just see out into the views into the city. It's crazy.
Do you want to heat up your chicken?
And yeah, the crew's kind of cooking some food.
I'll eat it tomorrow.
Bulgogi beef.
Bulgogi
If you know,
beef.
you know.
If you know, you know. What life will be like during summer. The whole crew is actually going to be here in Melbourne. So Quinn is currently in Vietnam. She's going to come back 2 months. In 2 months. Nam and Nelson have a unlimited ticket to come here to study. And these are all some of the stuff that we've brought back. Chicken, tzatziki, salad. Quinn, why are you putting yogurt? Whoa, what a weirdo! What a weirdo! No, I'm kidding. We all got the yogurt and the salad. Salad. No food. You like it in the new place?
Yeah.
We are wrapping up for the night. First night here at the Penthouse. It is beautiful. We actually went to the gym with the crew as well. Very proud that we actually made it through because it has been an incredibly long day. We were cold, we were tired, but we made it happen. Dropped Nam off. Hang out, we did some groceries as well. Our house is in disarray at the moment. But I'm very excited to clean up. And we have tradition here. In this bowl is something that Hang and I have been talking about for a very long time. It's the thing that represents that we made it. Like standing here in this penthouse, I'm realizing something so profound about abundance versus scarcity thinking. Like for years, we've been making decisions out of fear. Cheap chopsticks that break, non-stick pans have been terrible for our health, all because I was optimized for saving money instead of investing in our future. But here's what I wish someone had told me earlier. Your environment shapes your mindset and your mindset determines your results. And when you operate from a place of scarcity, like you ask, can I afford this? Is this even possible for me? And when you operate from abundance, you think, how do I make this work? How can I generate the money to make this a no-brainer? One keeps you stuck and the other one opens and creates possibilities. Now, this penthouse isn't about living in a nice place. It's about creating an environment where we can produce the highest quality work. We're getting cleaners and maids, not because we're lazy, but because we need those extra 10 hours per week. That could be invested towards growing the business. It's about leveraging our time. Abundance thinking is about how you can expand instead of settling. Good morning, day 2 at the Penthouse. Had a really good sleep. Still feels absolutely surreal. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. There's all this frost in the background. And then of course we've got crunchy and oatmeal. Listen to them. Currently my favorite meal of the day, yogurt, berries, banana. 200 grams, 50 grams, 10 grams. This is actually whipped peanut butter, which is actually really cool. It's aerated, so for the same weight, it's much bigger in volume. Hang and I were just thinking that every angle in this house looks nice, so that we can just record. Very, look at this, what a head.
So weak.
I can't believe it. I actually can't believe this is our place. This is what an Airbnb would look like, but it looks nicer than an Airbnb. It's like the nicest Airbnb, and it just turns out to be our place of residency. Crazy. So this conversation with Hang reminds me of something crucial. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for what you have. It's about recognizing how far you've come so you continue to push forward to see what's actually possible. Like 2 years ago, we had $1,500 in our bank account. I remember this like it was yesterday. And I was taking discovery calls during that day and Hang went to the groceries and she shot me a message and said, babe, we don't have enough in our account. Card got declined. I didn't have enough to transfer. And I was about to take a discovery call. But you know what? She didn't even express any type of negativity at all. And she just said, good luck, babe. And I knew that I had to rise. I had to show up. And we closed that deal and that gave us another float for another couple of weeks. But you know what? Honestly, I wasn't sure if things were gonna work out, but I knew there was a possibility and I couldn't live with myself if I gave up on that. And here's what I learned about belief and persistence. You don't need to see the whole staircase to just take the first step. You just need to believe that the staircase exists. Every successful person had to push through this moment of despair because that despair, that pain and suffering is what generates wisdom. Most marriages end in divorce. Most people are overweight. Most people hate their job. Most people make poor financial decisions. And so for you to be 1 in 1,000, 1 in 100, you need to act and operate in a way that 999 people out of 1,000 wouldn't. And that is what separates those who settle and those who keeps growing. New bed sheets. What do you guys think? We also have new blanket, a king size goose down blanket. This one's actually quite cheap on Amazon. Beautiful. Growing up is realizing stuff like these sheets excite you.
Need my help?
This place is such a big far cry from where we were in 2023. And when I mean place, I don't just mean the location, but what Hang and I had to go through. When I first started coaching, I promised her a world where we'd be financially free, be able to fly everywhere, and we ended up losing our hair. We ended up more stressed than we ever did. We ended up having a bank account that was negative 500, thinking that was rock bottom. That was total between the both of us. Couldn't pay for groceries. And then only for a few months later to hit rock bottom even more, to go down to 1500. You know, running a business and being an entrepreneur, no one tells you how hard it is, but as long as you continue, cliche as it sounds, never give up, you'd be surprised where you'd go once you've made every mistake under the sun and all the lessons finally amount to progress. Are you glad you quit your hairdressing job?
Yes, 100%.
Strong response.
Crazy.
I was just sharing the last 24 hours in the penthouse and the feelings of gratitude. I'm just overwhelmed by just the memories of all the times that we grinded through, we believed in ourselves, when there was an immense level of doubt, not knowing if there was an end in sight, but still pushing through anyway because you believed that there was a possibility. And that's all I needed to know, that there was a possibility. And I could never give up on that feeling. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to live with myself, knowing that I let a chance of being able to do something great pass me by. And being here is actually a once in a lifetime opportunity for Hang and myself. We want to eventually have kids. And so once we settle down, chances of living in a penthouse are going to be slim to none. And right now we want to prioritize our mental energy, focus on ourselves while producing the highest and the greatest amount of work output possible. Hope you guys can see it is very bright, but it is crazy. Just walking out. There's even an area to play golf up there as well that we don't even need, but it's such a big, nice open area. Check that out. I honestly still can't believe it.
I honestly can't believe it too. It's just like this vision that you have been talking about it for so long, and then you're like, we will live in a penthouse one day, babe. I'll make it happen. And then you'll think it's always like somewhere in the future, and then suddenly, a blink of an eye, like here we are. It's so weird. And it's so cool, but it's incredible.
You are beautiful.
And I just wanted to say, it's insane seeing someone able to live out their dream, and just you talking about your teenage dream, and then now here you are. It's just truly inspiring.
Everyone has the power to manifest their dreams. Like everything you think about, everything you have was a figment of someone's imagination. At some point in time, the camera that I'm holding was literally an idea in someone's head that got it manufactured and turned into reality. So why can't you build your future? You just gotta have the vision. You gotta just keep following the process, and the process is not set. The process is you learn, you make mistakes, you learn, you make mistakes, and you continue. And you continue that cycle, you eventually get the results you want. It's just a matter of time. But most people just give up before they get to taste it.
And the thing is, like the camera, when you mentioned like most people just want to get the camera and get started, I remember for you, the camera was that first investment.
Yeah.
It was the first thing that you ever bought that was expensive for yourself, and you're like, this is not a splurge, but this is for you to document your journey.
And now 5 years, exactly 5 years later, actually 5 years later,
Yeah.
exactly 5 years when the Chief Championship started and YouTube started, we have now come full circle. With two beautiful, very naughty, doggalicious doggos.
Yeah.
So here we are, from negative 1,500 our bank account to being in this penthouse in less than 3 years. And the real transformation wasn't financial. It was the person that we became. It was the lesson that we learned. It was the suffering that we had to endure to forge the identity of who we are today. It was all mental. And 3 lessons that really changed everything. Number 1 is life expands when you refuse to settle. The moment you get comfortable, you stop growing. Keep pushing your potential. The second, build systems that buy back your time. Leadership isn't about working harder, it's about creating processes that other people can run better than you can. Third, gratitude fuels the journey, but the vision sustains it. Be grateful, not just for where you are, but who you've become, and never stop believing in what's possible. And standing here, it's not just celebrating a dream coming true, I'm celebrating the mindset shift that made it inevitable. So if you're watching this and you feel like you're behind, you're stuck, just know that it's part of the process. I get it, I know what it feels like to not even be sure if your dream is even possible. I'm here to remind you that they are. You just need to refuse to settle. Build systems that scale and operate from abundance instead of scarcity. So the question for you is, what's one area of your life that you've been settling instead of expanding? Drop in the comments, share, because recognizing this is the first step to actually changing it. And if you want to see more of this journey, this business, bodybuilding, the real behind the scenes of building something from nothing, subscribe, because honestly guys, this is just the beginning. I'm so excited by what we've got cooking in store for you. And of course, each month I have a small cohort of guys that really want to take their life, fitness, health, wealth, and relationships to the next level. If that's you, hit the link in the description, book in a call, see if we can be a good fit. Otherwise guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.